Hi guys, my name is Pallavi. I'm a medical student and I am religious about my 7.5 hours of sleep. While I believe studying to be a big part of my life as a student and the lives of students in general, I still prioritize my sleep over the studying that I do. If you've only got a minute, here's a short version of this video. I prioritize sleep because I genuinely find that it's a good time. It helps me evaluate my health. It puts me in a better mood. It's a way for me to reset. And I remember things better when I sleep. If that's all you're here for, I'm happy to have provided this information for you. Thanks for sticking around and I hope I see you again next time. If you're up for some elaboration though, let's get started. The act of being restful, in a state where you care about nothing in the world, in a moment where you can genuinely explore your subconscious. What a nice time. I truly enjoy sleep. Everybody who knows me knows that if I could live happily and interact as I needed to from my bed, I would do so in a heartbeat. I don't like fighting sleep. Sleep and I are friends. And I like to maintain the relationship we have. It's an important one for me. If it's the middle of the day at university, I'm in between classes, I can feel myself getting tired, I just take a nap. I lay down on one of the benches, I ask my friends to hold on to my stuff or just keep an eye on it. I put a sweater or a jacket over my head to block out the sun, headphones in to block out the noise, take a nap. Lovely time. And then I just wake up feeling refreshed and ready for the next lecture. I say, normalize naps at school. So there are times where I wake up exhausted. There are times where I take a 20-minute nap and wake up 2 hours later. There are also times where I come back from school completely exhausted and just crash because I physically cannot keep my eyes open anymore. All of this is just data for me to use to evaluate how I'm doing, how my body's doing, and how my mind's doing. If I'm waking up tired in the mornings or napping longer than I intend to, it usually means that I'm not sleeping enough. If I'm coming home completely exhausted and unable to do anything except sleep, it usually means I haven't eaten enough food for the day. And then if I'm having trouble falling asleep at night or even taking a nap during the day because my mind is just on and refuses to shut off, it's usually because I'm stressed. All of these things are fixable, and just paying attention to my body and my mind and how it's doing helps me fix these things a lot more quickly so that I can perform better. If I sleep less than 7 hours for 2 or 3 consecutive days, I'm a mess. I'm a horrible person to be around. I'm irritable, I'm easily angered, I'm frustrated, I get overwhelmed very, very easily. I have no patience, essentially. I'm just not a nice person to be around, you know? And it's sometimes really scary to see how much sleep can improve my mood. There was a time in first year where the first couple of weeks of school were like really overwhelming, obviously. So I was doing as much as I could to like keep up with stuff, and I realized that I hadn't slept properly for like a week. And I was angry at the world, I was angry at myself, I was getting stressed, and I felt myself spiraling into like a depressive episode. And that night, for some reason, I just slept. I slept early. I think I was just really tired. Nothing was going in my head, so I slept. And it was a Friday, so I woke up on the weekend, slept in a little bit too, so I had a long night of rest. The next day, oh my God, it was like I was a whole new person. I was nice, I was friendly, I was empathetic and kind. It was a big change. I'm a whole new person when I sleep, and I'd really rather be that person compared to like the sleep-deprived, irritable, and angsty one. If I'm feeling frustrated, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I'm feeling hopeless, or I'm just done with that non-stop WhatsApp group that just won't shut up, I sleep. I sleep, and then I wake up, and then all of a sudden I feel like I have a different perspective. And that's what sleep is for me. Sleep helps me reset my mind and see things from a different angle. Usually I just need to take a step away from something to get a better grasp on it, or see things from someone else's perspective and put myself in someone else's shoes. It's not gonna solve any issues directly, but I really enjoy the fresh state of mind that I wake up with, and it helps me tackle any kind of problems or issues in a much more productive way. I would say this is the most applicable use for sleep as a student. it helps you remember stuff better. I mean, there are countless studies done on this, so I feel like I don't need to go into it in great detail, and I'll link some of those studies down below. But I can see a huge shift in my cognitive function when I have slept appropriately. I find that the stuff that I've studied during the day sticks in my head better. I'm able to focus for longer periods of time, and I'm also just like a lot more self-aware when I've slept. So an example of me using sleep in this way, if I find that I'm studying a particular topic, say it's been renal physiology these days. Oh, it's very brain heavy, you know? It's not pure memorization. I have to like actually understand what I'm learning. So renal physiology, I'm studying it, I'm confused, but you know, I'm doing my best. I'm watching some YouTube videos, I'm reading a couple different textbooks to see if I can mesh everything that they're saying into a way that's comprehensible to me. All of a sudden, it's like 9 o'clock in the night. I've been studying for 3 hours on one particular topic. It's just not going in my brain. You know what? Time to end the day. Time to go to bed. Time to just like step away from it, come back the next day. What I find is that the next day, I understand it a lot better. And this makes sense, right? Sleep is a highly conserved action or behavior all animals use, like even down to like cellular organisms. And it's important for a reason. And sleep is also a time where your neurons are making new connections. Oh my God, that's so important when you're studying. You need all the connections possible so that you can connect one idea from the other, and all of a sudden you're understanding how things work. And the body is complex, and you know, things you learn in one class might apply in another class, and it's really important to remember all of these things, but it's hard to do when you're sleep deprived because you haven't made those neuronal connections yet. I'm really passionate about sleep, as you can see. And for a good reason, I think. It's such a good time. It has so many wonderful benefits. I just think we should all sleep more. There are a lot of people that I know and I have talked to brag about having slept only 5 hours in a week. I've only slept 2 hours today. Oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I've been studying all night. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I don't think bragging about lack of sleep is a good thing. And while I 100% believe that prioritizing sleep is a much better use of anybody's time compared to a lack of sleep and working through the night, I do also recognize that I'm coming from a position that might be a little bit privileged. I don't have that anxiety when it comes to studying, while other people might. So other people might be really stressed, might have a lot of expectations put on them, might be in a really difficult situation. So I understand not being able to sleep because you're so stressed out that you need to study all the time. And I know it sucks. And I know nothing I say is going to help at all because everyone has to go through their journey. So instead of preaching, here I am, just talking about why I prioritize sleep. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video gave you a different perspective on sleep and the many reasons why it is amazing and a good time. If you want to watch more of my videos, please subscribe. There are plenty more to come. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.